Hi, I'm here to talk about sex, kinks and safety. So this presentation is about sex, kinks and safety, and we'll be talking about explicit and sensitive topics with references to sexual behaviour and sex and the law. My name is Mel Gadd and I'm a sex educator with Come the This Crew sex education company. So what's the difference between a kink and a fetish? Well, a kink is broadly defined as a behaviour that includes non-conventional sexual practices, concepts or fantasies, while a fetish is a strong sexual desire for a specific object or for a non-genital body part, although the use of the word has broadened to a range of objects and body parts and behaviours in recent years. The terms kink and fetish are often used interchangeably, but usually a kink is something you need to do to get turned on, while a fetish is a thing you need to get turned on. So where to start? So there's nothing wrong with having kinks or fetishes. It's you and your partner's choice. Take time to explore your own kinks. How do you feel about them? Are you comfortable enough to communicate about them to a sexual partner? Consider how you go about meeting your kink needs in a legal and consensual way. Any sexual interaction, of course, should be centered with a consent and respect, choice and pleasure. Let's look at some sex rules. Is everyone consenting? Consent should be opt-in, not opt-out, and it should be enthusiastic. Are you all old enough? The legal age to consent to sexual activity is 16, but it's 18 if you or they are a sex worker. Are you in a place private enough that you won't be seen by people who are not consenting to be involved in the activity or situation? And if in doubt, check it out. General safety. Who are you with? Who knows where you are? What can you do if you don't feel safe? It's always useful to have a personal safety plan for these situations. Communicate your boundaries clearly about what you do and don't want to do. And of course, check that your sexual partner feels safe too. Consent is really important here. It's your choice to have sex and engage in kink behaviours, but it's also the other person and people's choice too. Be sure that all parties are fully consenting to everything you do together, and an absence of no is definitely not a yes. And please remember that people cannot legally consent to sexual activity when any drink or drugs inhibit their choice making, if they're asleep or unconscious, or if they're forced or tricked into sexual activity. Kink safety. Have you considered what you need to put in place to enjoy your kink safely and legally? So have you done your research and educated yourself? And do you have safe and/or appropriate equipment? Be really careful about what you insert into body parts. Damage can be caused if it's an inappropriate object and/or it's used in a rough way. There are plenty of different devices we can use for our kink play that are safe for different body parts. Are you able to communicate effectively with your sexual partner about what you do and don't want to do? Clarify what different terms mean to you and your partner. You may think your partner is consenting to an agreed activity, but unless you share the same understanding of what that activity is, then consent won't be present. Only use opt-in consent. Don't use opt-out consent or make assumptions about consent. And you can withdraw your consent at any time. You're allowed to change your mind. Communicate before, communicate during, and communicate after. Think about if you trust them and do they trust you. If trust isn't present, then consider whether they're the right person or people to engage in kink with. And non-consensual voyeurism, non-consensual power imbalance, and non-consensual pain is abuse, not kink. There's different services that can help us and we can reduce our everyday risks from sexual behaviour. So think about using condoms and DAMs as a barrier method against STIs and the risk of pregnancy. Explore what contraception you might use if you think you might be the risk of pregnancy, and consider regular STI screenings to check if you've got any sexually transmitted infections. And I'll include some information later about where you can access free test and post kits for STI testing. Everybody needs help in an emergency, and you can access emergency contraception for up to 5 days after unprotected sex. And this will depend on the type of emergency contraception you're going for. You can also access PEP, post-exposure prophylaxis, if you feel like you've been increased risk of contracting HIV. Under Bangor, Students' Union have a range of external and internal condoms, DAM and lube, all available for free from the Student Centre in the Students' Union and the accessible toilet in the Students' Union. They're also now stocking free test and post STI testing kits. The Students' Wellbeing Service, and the QR code is included here, has a range of support for you around sexual violence and harassment, support around your mental health, and information on local services you may find useful. BCUHB sexual health services are available for anybody who's a resident in North Wales, and that includes temporary residents who are students. It's easy access, it's friendly and non-judgmental, it's confidential. The services are all free, and you can access STI testing and treatment, contraception services, and HIV services. Public Health Wales have a sexual health website called Sexual Health Wales, and from that website you can order free test and post STI screening, and you can access free condoms via post, and you can also access a range of sexual health information. This is one of a series of 9 video presentations on a range of relationships and sexual health topics commissioned by Undeb Bangor. They were designed and delivered by Cwmni Addysg Sex Education Company. For more information, look to our website. Thank you.